want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Each struggle evolves, and as it evolves, it reaches and moves up on new levels. This is true of all struggles, all people struggle. Thus, it is also true of the African struggle. The African struggle in particular has reached a new level, as has the worldwide struggle in general. That new struggle must be represented also in its form, whereas, for example, in 1968 or 1965, we would be yelling and screaming and appeared to be emotionally upset about injustices. In 1973, so our struggle must advance. We cannot be still yelling and screaming about things. We have to proceed in a logical and scientific manner to outline our problems, provide their solutions, and carry out the work. Thus, the level our struggle has reached today is a level where, while we are emotionally involved, and certainly we must be emotionally involved, it's our struggle, it's our very life, our struggle must be guided by clear, rational thought. Clear, rational thought.
You have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean, just like throwing food around, or they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to, we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying, a pick in the lock, coming through the door blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking. You know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do? And we shouldn't be angry. And my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto.
There's a difference between revolution and reform. It's a big difference. In reform, a man observing a foundation, observing a system, sees many problems. But he assumes that there's nothing wrong with the system. The foundation of the system for him is a good system. Thus, what he seeks to do is to change the building as best he can, but he wants to leave the foundation intact. In life, you have a revolutionary. Thus, a revolutionary is not someone who seeks to reform a system, he's someone who seeks to replace it. I'm a revolutionary. I'm not a reformist.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, if you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And you need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it needs to be real. And it needs to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. It's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. We got to survive here. For us to survive here, white folks, black folks, Korean folks, Mexican folks, Puerto Ricans, we got to understand each other. We got to take.
Instead of going through theories, let me give some direct example. Let's say that I'm a capitalist. And let's say that I sell shirts. I sell shirts. I have a shirt factory. Let's say this is my factory. I own it. The machinery. I have a place where I get cotton. Now I own it. I'm the capitalist. And let's say you are my workers. You are my workers. You don't know me. You never see me. You see my lackeys, you know, maybe my foreman, but you never see me. Now, let's say it costs me 50 cents for cotton for every shirt I make. And let's say it costs me 50 cents for upkeep of my machinery. That's $1. And let's suppose I pay you $1 for every shirt you make. That means it costs me $2 to get a shirt. Labor included, your labor. I pay you for making the shirt. Now when I sell the shirt, being a capitalist, and you must know something about capitalism, very important. The sole motivating force in a capitalist society is profit. Profit. That is the sole motivating force. Profit. Get money. Get it. Get it as fast as you can. Get it any way you can, but get it. Just get it. Just get it. And even in the African community, it affects us here in this country because Africans, those of us living in America, those of us born in America, we are imbued with the philosophy of capitalism, and sometimes we don't even recognize it. Thus, you find brothers and sisters even selling dope to their brothers and sisters to make money. Again, because we're imbued with the philosophy of get some money. Ain't nothing wrong to kill for money. Hell, your country is napalming for money. You can certainly kill for some money. All right, just get it. Just get it. It's the overall philosophy. When we talk about revolution, we must talk about changing values. We must talk about changing values, and we must understand these values. To the shirt factory. I've not forgotten. I'm just going to tie it in. I'll tie it in for you. I'll tie it in. You will see, you must look under the shirt factory, too. You must look for spiraling economy. That's very important, spiraling economy. I sell the shirt for $5. I sell the shirt for $5. I don't do anything. You're the one who make the shirt. I'm exploiting your labor. You toil, you sweat, I get the fruit. That's right, I get it. But you grow it, you plant it by the sweat of your brow. I get it. I sell the shirt for $5. I am exploiting your labor. I really am exploiting your labor. I mean, even when you want a shirt, hey, you got to come to my store and buy the shirt for $5. Yeah, I really am exploiting you. Now, you're workers, you're in a factory, so you begin to get social consciousness. Yes, you do. Marx talks about this. Because you're working together, you see the socialized process, the laboring process, and you're able to see clearly how you're being exploited. So you get together, and you start talking about, we want more money. You tell my foreman we want more money. So the foreman comes to see me. He says, the workers say they want more money. Later for them. Keep them working, man. So he comes back, no raise. So y'all work, but y'all get a little bit more agitated, you know, because it's scientific. The pressure rises, and as the pressure rises, the consciousness must rise. It's scientific. It can't be stopped. That's why revolution can't be stopped. Then you say, hey, look here, we're going to strike. So the foreman comes back and said, hey, they say they're going to strike. I say, oh, let them strike, man. And sure enough, y'all strike. Yeah, y'all strike on me. Now, when you strike, of course, my machinery stops. I ain't making no money. So after a while, I called my foreman. I said, what do they want? He says, well, they said they want $1.50 more a shirt. They want 50 cents more a shirt. So I said, okay, let them have it. So I'll bring you back. You happy? I pay you $1.50 more. Right, so it now costs me $2.50 to make a shirt. It cost me $2.50 to make a shirt. Before, it cost me $2. I was selling it for $5. But hey, look here. I can't go out there and keep selling it for $5. Hey, how am I going to do that? I'm going to lose profit. And look here. Since the sole motivating force in a capitalist system is profit, ain't no need for me to come and sell it for $5.50. Hey, no. Next time you see that shirt on the market, it's going to cost you $7.50. Right. And that's what's known as the spiraling economy. Because profit is what about? Wages go up into demands of the workers and prices rocket. Wages go up, prices rockets. And it keeps going and going and going until it's got to blow the top. It's scientifically real. That's why Nixon is talking about freezing wages and freezing prices. He's stupid. You got to freeze capitalism, Nixon. Freeze capitalism. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yes, that's the problem. You must understand these concepts, because once you begin to understand them and master them, you will see the inevitability of revolution. Not only the inevitability of revolution, but you will see the inevitability of victory for the struggling masses around the world once you understand the scientific principles of revolution. Once you understand it. And when you understand that, then you will understand what President Nkrumah says when he says the secret of life is to have no fear. To have no fear. Because once you understand that yours is a course which cannot be defeated, you can scorn death. You can look it right in the face when it's coming. And when he's about to pull the trigger, say, hurry up, pull the trigger. There are 50,000 brothers climbing over my back to get to you. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Right on, stay. Us. It's especially necessary for Africans in this country to know that we have nothing to be afraid of. Our victory is assured. It's assured. It's written in history. It's already down there. Can't nobody mess with it. Scientifically, we'll prove it step by step. One of the cornerstones of capitalism is the concept of private property, a backward concept, an uncivilized concept, a dehumanizing concept. Private property. This is mine, says the capitalist. This land is mine. I own it. That's nonsense. Didn't nobody come here with no land. How you gonna own it? He came here the same way I came, and I didn't have no land with me when I came. And my father didn't have none, and my grandfather didn't have none, and my great-grandfather didn't have none. So can't nobody own none unless you usurped the land by unnatural and barbaric means, obviously. The land belongs to everybody. The land belongs to everybody. Under this concept of private property, it reaches its epitome in this nonsensical concept of individualism at the expense of the group. That's what they talk about in America, individual rights, individualism, and nonsense. Can't be no individuals at the expense of the group. Again, of particular warning to Africans in America is this concept that comes down to us, comes into us, and we don't even recognize it.
You, a bigger chance. And you, the guy, you, the mechanic, wherever, you need to do something. You need to check yourself and see how racist you are. You know what I'm saying? It's real.
The other day I was talking to a brother on 14th Street in Washington, D.C. I said, brother, why'd you come out here and help your people? He said, I can't help my people unless I help myself. He said, I'm trying to help myself, and then I'll help my people. And he really felt he said something. He started to walk away. I said, hey, brother, can you rise above your people? Obviously not. No man can rise above his people. Thus, you have to help your people, and by helping your people, you will help yourself. Of course, it's the only way. It's the only way. Scientifically, it's impossible. If a man rises above his people, it's because he's stepping on his people. It's the only possible way. Only possible way. The man comes from the people. The people doesn't come from the man. Thus, hey, the people, you got to serve the people first. You got to work for the people. That's the only way you will advance your cause, not by yourself. You can become a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. It's the people who make history. No man makes history. The people make history. So it's the people that we must work for. These values are important because in a capitalist system, individualism, I, me, this is mine. These are the values which we must now fight, where we have power in our communities, African communities, to institute a new sense of values in our people, to give them new principles, uncompromising principles by which we can be bound in order to make our struggle more fruitful and more victorious. In the other sense, in the larger community, we must try to show them We must try to explain to them the necessity of new values which are diametrically opposed to the values that are found in a capitalist system, and hope that those people understand it and move to destroy capitalism. Move to destroy capitalism. Individualism, very bad, very backward, totally backward concept, but they hold it. Under a capitalist system, this is the funniest one, they have what is known as conflict of interest. Hey, and they, not only do they respect conflict of interest, hey, they hold it sacred. They hold conflict of interest sacred, you understand? They teach you, I know your American government teachers, they say, this is the gross national product of America, $300 billion trillion. Everybody say, wow, that's a lot. And it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Ain't no problem with it, it's a lot. Then he says, but in this country, we have farmers, we have workers, we have teachers, we have lawyers, we have employers, and everybody must fight to get a piece of the pie. Yeah, right on. And whoever gets the biggest piece, all praises, you know. And everybody accepts that, man. They tell you all the time, this is a society of conflict of interest. And everybody's fighting to get the biggest piece. Now, here's the funny part. The same people always get the big piece. They always get the big piece, right? Hey, but listen to something funnier. You want to hear something funnier? The people who get the little piece, they keep believing someday they're going to get the big piece. And that's why they believe in the system. Because they believe, well, I didn't get it this time, but next time. No, it can't be done. It can't be done. It can't be done. The people with the little piece always going to have the little piece. As a matter of fact, they keep getting smaller and smaller. Like, they keep getting bigger and bigger. And you see it in our communities too, brothers on the block. I'm going to get me a hog. And I'm going to have me a hog. White on white, right. Right. Only one way to get it, of course, in the capitalist system, exploit your people. He'll do that. He'll do that to get the hog. That's the system, you understand? And they say this is all right. They say conflict of interest is good. The farmers should fight and get as much as they can. The workers should, the teachers should, the employers should, everybody should. Yes, and everybody believes that someday they are going to have the big piece of pie. This backward system, totally backward system. Again, I'm not calling for revolution. I see it coming, and I want to be part of the solution. I don't want to be part of the problem. I've been the victim too long, so I want to be part of the solution. I am saying that all of us must opt for revolution. All of us must opt for revolution. Now, revolution is very scientific. There's nothing emotional about it. There's nothing emotional about it. President Kwame Ture, a wise and courageous African revolutionary, says that in revolution there is no sentimentality. There is none. Whether I like something or do not like something, it is scientifically determined for me, thus I must do it. So I have no sentiments involved in my work. I just have to do what I have to do, and I will do it the best way I can. Best way I can. Now, revolution, we said, follows scientific laws. If you come and you look at the foundation and you see the foundation is rotten, and you say that you want to replace this foundation, you want a new system, you're asking for revolution. Because what you're saying is that you want another system where there is a system. And we know scientifically that no two things can occupy the same place at the same time. I mean, that's logic. So if you say that you're against capitalism and you want another system put in the place of capitalism, then all you're saying is that you want revolution, because capitalism and this other thing cannot occupy America at the same time. Only one will occupy it. Only one will be dominant. Thus, if you say you want revolution, you understand you're talking about scientific principles. Two systems cannot occupy the same space at the same time. I'm opposed to capitalism. I seek an economic system which must follow the principles of scientific socialism. This system must come, will come, all over the world, America notwithstanding. It must come and will come. To really understand capitalism and socialism, we must have some discussion on these two systems, just some discussion. Now, it's impossible, it is totally impossible for me to explain to you capitalism and socialism in the little time that we have. It is not possible. I am not even attempting to do it. What I'm attempting to do is to give some definitions and some characteristics of these systems. Now, I know as students in an American university, you understand nothing of capitalism and socialism. I know that because I'm a product of those schools. Yes, you get nothing about it. They don't even discuss it. How can they discuss it? It's not possible for them to discuss it. Not possible. I mean, they're fighting communism because capitalism is democracy and freedom and not, et cetera, et cetera. It's impossible for them to tell the real truth about the system. It's also impossible for them to tell the truth about socialistic and communistic systems. But the truth will be told. The truth will be told, not in words but in action, clearly demonstrated by the Vietnamese, for example. The truth will be told. The truth will be told. The truth will be told. Capitalism is a backward system. It's backward. It is degrading. It is dehumanizing. If one ever looks carefully at a capitalist system and a socialist system, you must want to know, why would anybody with any sense in their head pick capitalism? I mean, why? Only a greedy man, only a man not understanding society, mankind, humanity, civilization, only a man so encumbered by his own greed that would lead to his own destruction would choose capitalism. Under a capitalist system, the means of production. Now, you're students. So, like, I'm just going to give you a few teasers, if you will, on capitalism. But your job is to study them. Your job is to understand them. If you're students, I mean, if you didn't just come here for a piece of paper, you must understand politics, because politics dominates your very lives, all of you. They dominate your lives. And you must have some understanding of the systems which you support or which you try to tear down. You must understand them. The means of production is owned and controlled by a very few people. A very few people. Small number, not a lot, few. A few people own and control the means of production. By the means of production, I mean anything necessary, machinery notwithstanding, money and resources, to build, to produce things which can be sold on the market. To produce things which can be sold on the market. Only a few people own and control the means of production. Example, General Motors has means of production, resources and machinery to build and produce cars. The owner of General Motors is a capitalist, the owner. Now, under him, there are many people who have big jobs, make a lot of money, like perhaps the general director of General Motors. The general director of General Motors, he is not a capitalist. He's not a capitalist. He is a lackey of capitalism. He is a lackey of capitalism. There's no doubt about that. That he is. He is what Chairman Mao Zedong would call a running dog lackey of capitalism. He's that. He serves the interest of capitalism. He derives a good living from serving the interests of capitalism. Thus, he will probably support capitalism. As a matter of fact, he will support it harder than the capitalist will. He will. But he's not a capitalist. He's not a capitalist. We must understand clearly when we talk about capitalism, who are the capitalists? As if we understand that there are only a few people who own and control the means of production in the society, then we begin to understand that there are a few capitalists. And these capitalists exploit everybody because everybody works for them. Everybody sells their labor to them. It is by selling your labor to a capitalist that he's really able to exploit you. This is our national product, $3 million. It is not much. We have farmers, we have workers, we have teachers, we have students, we have this, we have that. It is far better if all of us get together and say we have one interest, building the nation and serving the people, and build our national products. And as they get bigger, we will divide the piece evenly among ourselves. It's refreshingly different. Refreshingly different.